That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for Conversations with My Cuz. And let me introduce you, your cousin, her cousin, his cousin, my cousin, all of our cousins. We have Michelle with one L, Shay Lachey, and representing the brothers coming from Honda DJ booth, we have DJ Big Ra. Now, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hey.
What's up?
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with My Cuz. I am Shay Lachey.
And it's me, your girl, Michelle, with one L.
And I am DJ Big Ra, brother love, spreading love throughout all the universe.
Hey, guys.
What's up, ladies? How y'all?
What's good?
I can't complain. All is well with the world.
All is well with the world. Nice long week. You know, we're here Sunday. It's wind down. But before we get started with anything, let us do our toast.
I'm ready.
I'm waiting for this all
What
week.
we toasting to today, y'all? I didn't think about a toast. What we toasting to?
I don't know. I've been sipping, so
Well, this is gonna be one of those shows, huh?
maybe. I got started a little early. I can't say.
This is gonna be one of those shows.
Yeah, okay, I got a toast right quick. Well, I almost missed my flight in Nashville, and they held the flight up for me when I connected. So shout out to Southwest Airlines. I made my gig. I made my gig. They got me my money.
Yes.
Because had you missed your flight and missed this show, it would
Oh,
have been
man.
in the city.
You've been traveling as usual, Ron?
Yeah, you know how it is. It is.
But guys, I think every week we need to try to feature somebody. So this week we're gonna feature one of our childhood friends. We grew up with her, Miss Sharon Dash. She's an author. She's an author of, I know I have 3 of her books, but I believe there's a couple more I don't have. And she actually sent these to me, and I thought it was so dope.
Tell me what the titles are.
These are children's books. So this is Oh No, My Friends Are Homeless.
Mm-hmm. That's relevant for kids.
Our Adventure to the African Burial Ground.
Nice.
Okay,
And this one is A Story of Strength and Togetherness. The other one, I don't have the title of the other one because I don't have that book in front of me. But I just want to shout her out, guys. Go check her out. To go to her website, you can purchase her books on Amazon, and you see her website down below. www.sharon-author.com.
That's nice.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, I'm just so proud of her.
Big up to Sharon.
Friend of ours, yes. So good for her. I need to get those for my niece so she can read those.
Yes.
She's 5. So that would be really, really nice. So what else is going on? I've been flipping my closets. I finally am not going to be wearing t-shirts anymore because that's all I've been rocking, and I've been cold. So I was inspired this weekend to kind of like bust a sweater out or two. Like it's time.
Yeah. Ooh, I got off that plane. I was like, God damn, wait a minute. It didn't feel like this is what I got when I left.
Outside.
It's coming. Jack Frost on his way.
It's fall.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Summer gone.
That's exactly it.
Summer gone.
But I had called Michelle earlier, and I told her, I said, "Yo, this thing with Dave Chappelle is really getting crazy right now.
They trying to come for him.
Yeah, they trying to go now. Now they come on. Now Netflix is walking out. Oh, come on, you walking out on the job. Somebody got fired because they revealed the budget that they had gave him.
Leaking stuff.
But rumor had it he got $35 million.
Yeah, I thought it was 50, but
they said so my thing is when you're getting 35 million, you can say what you want to say. And it's all right being laid off.
You call it the closer.
Yeah, but again, shout out to the president of Netflix because he apologized to all the employees that when they had to walk out, but he said he's not taking the special down. So he did support Dave. That's a good thing.
And he said, because that's what, when there's slave movies on, when there's all kind of movies about other different types of cultures, they don't fight to take those down. So no, my thing is you're not gonna like everything.
Right.
So go sit yourself over there in your little corner and don't watch it.
Right, because Netflix is supposed to be all encompassing. It has many different types of genres that you can reach. I mean, they have a gay and lesbian section of just movies you could watch about that if that's what you choose to watch.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
by all means, some things I'm a firm believer if you want to start chopping, y'all want to start with South Park because that show is woo. They do a lot.
Hey, we love everybody. We love everybody. We love everybody.
Exactly. And that's the point that we're making. Listen, you want to take this strong stance. We're walking out all that. I'd have been like, well, all right, well, see ya. Because guess what? Netflix is going to still keep chugging along and making their money. So if you want to walk out because
man,
can't do this.
Speaking of Netflix, when is Ozark coming back on, man? The final season, man. I can't wait. Oh man, you got to get into that.
I'm waiting for Dexter because the new season of Dexter's coming.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Dexter had a new season coming.
Next November.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Right? There's a lot of Netflix going on, right?
And not on Netflix. That's going to be on Showtime.
Well, let me tell you, I'm getting ready to get rid of my cable, and I'm going to get either this Hulu Live or this YouTube TV or something, because these $350 cable bills, man, I can't do them no more. This shit is crazy.
We don't pay for cable
no more. We stopped that a long time ago.
Over a year ago, more than 2 years ago.
Yes,
well, I'm slow, so I'm up to it. So now I had to call him. I looked at the I called him and said, hey, look at here. This is crazy, some bullshit.
I watch everything I want to watch on my Fire Stick.
So do I.
Nah, see, I don't like that Fire Stick because that shit be in a circle.
No, I have no problem.
Soon as the good shit come on, you get a circle coming on. I ain't doing that.
I don't have no problems at all.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Different life. Yep. But anyway, is it time? Can I say?
Time. It's the sponsor.
Okay. Yes, let's talk about the co-sponsorship. Thank you. I need a prompt sometime.
Please don't forget that.
If Michelle was next to me, she would have elbowed me like,
hello.
Freaking told you. Anyway, we are appealing to God, to men and women, anyone out there who wants to do a co-sponsorship. We are very much interested in featuring you featuring us. Reach us at conversationswithmycuz@gmail.com. Let's have the conversation. Let's grow together, build together,
Let's work.
Absolutely.
Yes. Shout out to our chat. Hey, cousin. Hey, Cecil. That's my cousin. We got the same last name.
Yeah, shout out to Cecil. Tell her, Cecil, I got 5 boxes. That might be the problem too.
Yeah, I don't even know why you have that many because just you.
Yo, listen, I'm spoiled. I need to cut the TV on.
Ridiculous.
I need to see when I don't need to see it. I need to do what I need to do.
Oh my goodness.
You know how I do.
Yes.
Surround sound all around the house.
Very nice.
And the $350 damn bill. How
That's
about that?
Right.
Well, maybe I might get married. That's a hint.
Whoa, look at that. That's the topic of the show.
Topic of the show, right? Let's talk about it.
So.
Hey, I think I said hey to Keisha. I think I said hey.
Yes. That's my sis.
And shout out to our radio listeners, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Yes, what's going on, Mr. Kenneth? I got a brother in the room to help me out now. I'm charged. I'm charged today. Yeah, I'm charged. Let's go.
I got a shout out to Tamara too, because Tamara has some new ventures that she got going on, and they got Tycoon International. We don't have our shirts on today.
But right.
We've worn them, and go check them out. They have some dope stuff. And Tamara, she has a new venture. I don't have her information with me, but I'll make sure I have it next Monday.
That's that co-sponsorship, girl.
Exactly.
Hey,
and I don't know everybody knows to follow her, but I know at 9:00 she's having a conversation after our show, so I'm definitely going to head on over there after we're done.
Okay.
We got an after party now?
Yeah,
you know how we do.
There's an after party.
So, yeah, I mean, I love what she does, and I think she's super dope. She's super dope. I told her this anyway.
Well, thank you for supporting the show, though. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks everybody for supporting the show. So we can move. What Cecil said, he wanted to be a co-sponsor.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right? Can I do it now?
Let's go. Hold on.
Let me hear you. Let me hear you, DJ.
Let me get ready.
Now it's time for Let Me Ask My Cuz.
Let me ask my cuz.
Oh, yeah. Take that. It's the remix. Don't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. Oh, conversations. Hey, we here. Can't stop. Won't stop. It's the conversations.
Talk about it.
Hey,
Talk about it.
hey. It's the convo. Oh, now Miss Handra Glue want to be down now. Right?
I gotta be part of the party.
Well, all of a sudden, she want to come out and play.
You know why?
She want to come out and play now, right?
Yeah, like this.
Stick to the script.
We need some music to back it up, DJ. We gotta get some
Put me in, coach. Put me in. I look stupid. I'm like,
shout out to Shayla Shay. She want to be down.
Don't leave me all alone. I'm gonna come up with a line, and I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna have my little piece.
Exactly.
I got my question first. I want to go first because mine is crazy. Okay, this is about. I'm gonna give you the prelude a little bit, and I'm gonna read it. This is about a young man whose mother has an OnlyFans page, and he going through it. Okay, so here he is. He 13. His mother's 33. He said he's in school. He going through his little, puberty type of things. Not really too popular because, he a little short. So he get a little picked on. But he go to school one day. And as soon as he got in, he said one of the kids showed him a picture of his mother naked. And he had a full panic attack. Okay, left the school, went home, stayed home sick a couple of days, came back. The whole school had these pictures of his mother. Okay, talking about him. As soon as he come in the room, they laugh and carrying on. So when he says something to his mother tells him that he's overreacting and that sex work is basically the same as working in a bank or a grocery store.
Oh.
Then she went on to say that it makes her feel good about herself and that he should be happy for her, that she's in a more happier place in her life. Now, he said he ready to jump off the damn building. He can't take it no more. He just can't.
That's awful.
Like, what do I do?
Yo, shout out to mom. Shout out to mom. Shout out to mama living her best life.
That's awful. That's awful. I'm gonna say,
Michelle, you got to go first.
Let me go first.
I can't say nothing.
No, you're gonna talk, but you're gonna wait. You're gonna wait. I think that's first of all, anything you do affects your kids, whether it be positive or negative. So you got your whole entire ass on the OnlyFans. Your whole ass out on and now your son, or is it a boy or girl, whoever it is, gotta go and it's a boy too. Dang. You got to go to school and your boys not now. Rashay, if you went to school and your homies was like seeing Gloria, you'll be ready to fight everybody.
Listen, I just want to see the picture. Did you see any pictures?
You're a mess. I can't.
Shame, and I agree. And for the fact that she's trying to justify it and tell him that he needs to just suck it up and deal with it. It's a job, and it was like any other job. She has problems.
I think so.
But that's not okay.
No, and her son is, I said it in a light way, but he's seriously like he don't know what to do with his life. Like he just don't want to go to school. And a kid at 13 and what they're going through just inside your body, to have that on top of everything else when you just
mama
out. Yeah.
You know, if somebody used to say your mother, we was ready to fight in an argument.
Let me ask you a question, DJ.
Yeah.
You ever was out with your mother and somebody kind of tried to holler at her?
Listen, man, Glow.
Answer the question.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
How did you feel about it? How did that make you feel? Somebody looking at a butt, or hey there, Miss Stan.
Oh man, listen, not my mama. Not my mama.
Imagine that.
Not my mama at
I know
all.
how my son used to feel walking outside with me, and he used to be like pulling me away, like, "What? Why is this person talking to you?"
Yeah, I tone it down completely when I'm with my sons because I don't want no problems.
Even
like
now, Tisha, my daughter, she's super. She's who. No, like I'm grown, good and grown. Like, what's wrong with you?
Man, shit, mom look like my kind of girl.
You see, because you're being mannish. You're being mannish right now. You're looking at it from a perspective of a horn dog. That's where you're at right now.
I guess that's the kind of son you'd be like, come on, son, go to bed now. But all actuality, I get it. You know, seriousness is it's bad. I mean, you know, maybe he needs to go to talk to somebody in guidance.
Exactly.
You know, really, like, you know, seek out somebody you need to talk to about that. Mom's is kind of foul, you know. Maybe she's not a full adult yet. Stop hating though. Mom sounds like a good time, though. I'm just saying.
We're not hating on mom. You gotta consider your children.
Yeah. You really, I mean, you really do. I mean, honestly, you really do. You got to think about your babies because, like I said, everything you do in this day will come to light. It ain't like in the 70s. You understand
and exactly what Samara said. She just absolutely fixes perception of what's attached to trust and mistrust.
Yeah, and the only problem is that's going to be his perception of woman for days to come.
Yeah, that's
he might be one of them type of kids run down the street, whore, you know, just for no reason. So
that's not funny.
You know, but I'm telling you, it's the truth though. You know, it's right. That's what happens when men grow up disrespecting women. You know what I'm saying? Is that it's the lifestyle that they come from.
In his eyes, she's disrespecting herself.
Correct.
Yeah, he sees that now, but when he grows up, he's going to think something else.
Yeah, it's like, what do you say to someone at 13 to get through such a terrible thing? Because you can't corral your parents, right? I mean, I know I couldn't. My mother told me that if I didn't like what was happening in her house, the door swung both ways, and I was free to make whatever decisions I wanted on the other side of the door. Right?
Well, hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all a story because you know I stay with stories. So my mama called herself going out on a date one night, right? So me and the guy on the couch, we were standing outside. This is a true story. So my mom ride around, just say hi to us in the car on her date or whatever. So we got a little later. So we came upstairs. My man was sitting on the couch with a cup of Hennessy, like a little sniff drink in his hand. So I looked at the guy on the couch. The guy on the couch looked at me and said, "My man, you sitting on my bed. You gotta go."
Y'all put him out.
Yeah, my mama ain't speak to us for a long time about that. Shout out to the man on the couch. I love that guy.
It's our producer, y'all. He's not serious.
Yeah, that's a true story. We put that guy out quick. He said, "Come on, man, you sleeping on my bed."
That's not the first time
my brother on my bed.
Out. Sure, like, the first time somebody out the house.
Yeah. So you know how we feel about it. But I don't know if he came to me and asked me for my advice, I'd be like, "You want me to talk to your mama for you?" You know what I'm saying? Let me find out what's really
no. He don't need you to talk to his mama.
Come to you, clearly.
I'll take care of it.
What he needs, hey Omar, thank you. What he needs is for you to help him through the situation, not go try to bang his mama.
No. I would just, it won't happen no more. I'll see to it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the horse is out of the barn, right? Because they done already got pictures of his mother.
Yeah.
So it's not much you can do about what he's dealing with, but a lot of kids go through some type of traumatic situation at a very young age and have to walk through it. Like, we're old enough to be able to say, like, I'm my own person and it's whatever, and I'm gonna just deal with it. But being ashamed is a terrible feeling, especially at such a young age. So
at this day and age, it is bad. And I love taking pictures too. So, I get it. And I've been told, nigga, I got kids, put that phone away.
Are you talking about nude pictures? You take nude pictures? Is that what you're saying, DJ?
Oh, listen, why are you asking Love his personal? I come from love.
That's what you
Ain't nothing but love here. Ain't nothing but love and memories.
That's what he said, y'all. He loved taking pictures.
And pictures.
Yeah.
And pictures.
He's so proud of his salami.
But we're making a joke. We make jokes, y'all. But
see, here we go with the salami.
The little
again.
boy, we're not talking about salami. The little boy is having some issues and he's struggling. So, the advice I would give him is that clearly he can't talk to his mama.
Yeah, he needs to go somewhere and seek, like I said, seek out guidance.
Definitely.
Sometimes there's a school psychologist that they could probably talk to.
The guidance counselor, somebody that he has to talk to, because they can't suspend the whole school.
Yeah, matter of fact, I think what's going on in school, guidance might have came and talked to him already. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think there may be an opportunity for like guidance to maybe speak to the mother, because as an adult, maybe sometimes talking to another adult, because we can be dismissive of our children sometimes.
Right.
A lot of parents don't, like, sit down, boy, you don't know. But another adult to come to you and say that this is the damage that you're doing to your child, maybe.
To the mother. Yeah.
So.
But she seems very ignorant, so I don't even know if that
is. And in this day and time, I think, like, the school that we come from, the three of us come from, you know what I'm saying, is speak when spoken to. But I realized, like, even with my son, sometimes
knocked out.
I gotta answer some questions, but his questions been kind of heavy lately, and I had to tell him, hey, Rocky, you got a problem here? Like, I'm tired of answering your questions now.
Yeah, you can't just dismiss your kids.
You can't. You really got to try to talk to them in a loving way. In a loving way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's always about love.
We come from the speak when spoken to and shut the hell up.
Exactly. Yeah, sometimes that don't work, because I've been telling people that my whole life, and I ain't got no.
That doesn't work. That don't work. We got to move on to the next question, guys, because you know how we do.
Yeah, I got something to say.
All righty, so here's the next.
Of course you do.
Question. I am a 30-year-old woman who very much wants to find someone to share my life and start a family with. The problem is I hate dating, at least the early stages. To me, first dates aren't exciting. They're just plain awkward and nerve-wracking. I have tried everything to change my outlook on dating, but I still go into every first date with the same enthusiasm as I'd have for a root canal. Damn. I truly, I truly want a partner in life, but I hate first dates so much. I Googled, is arranged marriage for me? Please, you have any tips for how to have a more positive outlook on dating? Who want to go first?
Yeah, me. I tell you, give it up on the first night. It'll work.
What?
We had this discussion. It was a very enlightening conversation we had early yesterday morning.
I was not part of it.
I know you should have been a part of it. That's the problem.
And I didn't agree with nothing that you just said.
That's the problem.
So let me understand what you're saying. To fix the fact that she hates dating, she should just give it up.
Yeah.
And that's gonna
walk into the date and just say, come on, let's have sex.
But you know what I'm saying? Stop playing with it. Like the problem is she's looking for too much, whatever the case may be. Stop playing with it. All right, man. Listen. You see what Dre said, right?
In the comments, Russia.
You see what Dre? I'm just telling you. Listen to me.
We trying.
Listen to me. I'm trying to explain something. She's putting too much energy on it. She's thinking about it too much.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So when you think about it all the time, is when you're dating and you're trying to get to the thing, you're trying to figure some things out. Figure it out. Just figure it out.
Is it my turn yet?
That's it. Figure it out.
Go ahead.
For me, I think it's a little bit of what he said, which is that she's putting too much energy into it. And it really has a lot to do with the mindset, because if you're going on this date and you're thinking to yourself, I'm trying to get to marriage, right? Because if she's looking for like arranged marriages, and ultimately the reason why she's dating is to find this husband, right? If you come into dating with the mindset that you are learning someone, meeting a new friend, because who you going to marry but your best friend? If you're looking for a friend, then it takes all the pressure off. You just have a fun time.
Exactly.
She's going, her expectations is what's tearing her up.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
She's going into the situation with these expectations that it's going to be nerve-wracking, that it's going to be bad. So it's really tearing, and Tamara says sounds like self-sabotage. I agree.
Yeah, it does.
She's worried about rejection. If she's worried about the wrong thing, just go into the date.
But that's
you don't know
right.
him, he don't know you. Just
that's what I'm trying to tell you. See,
I think that there's a point when you go on enough dates when somebody asks you that question of what is your 5-year plan, you just want to haul off and slap them.
Fire out there.
Because it gets to be a little bit like yuck, you know.
I'm in a space where I'm doing first dates. You know what I mean? So first dates to me, there's certain things during a first date that drive me nuts, like the dreaded question. So tell me about yourself. I cannot stand that question because I'll be like, all right, well, my name is Michelle. 50 years old. That's not a conversation to me. I like organic. I like the flow of a conversation.
Yeah, and good conversation. But I'm just saying, like, come on, let's get to it. Y'all act like sex on first dates ain't the bomb. That'd be the best sex ever. Ever.
Ain't nobody talking about having sex on the first date.
Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Stop playing. Get it out the way.
So this is how she should get over her anxiety. She should walk into the date and decide that she won't.
That's the problem because I don't think she getting none. She keep holding back on the goodies. That's what's happening.
Scenario about this.
Listen, she's thinking too much. Why is she thinking about it?
That she is. She is.
She's thinking too much.
Yeah, but if you go on a first date every 2 weeks for 6 months, then you
listen. Woman, first of all, women don't serial date like that. That's crazy. But bottom line is,
no.
You could be on Tinder.
What do you mean they don't serial? How do you know that?
Okay, so let me ask you: if you serial dating like that, right? You're giving it up somewhere, so give it up.
That's not true.
Give it up. Give it up. Stop playing with it. Shout out to people giving it up. Y'all playing games. That's part of the relationship. That's us. That's us getting to know one another. Stop it.
It's not.
I don't need you to know me like that on the first date. I don't know that man.
Okay, so pull out and opinions of DJ Brother Love.
Shit.
In no way we agree.
but nobody wants to be honest about it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's like y'all act like sometimes that don't be great. Like if the flow is good, we having fun, we enjoying one another. Shit, give it up.
I'm not
Stop playing with it.
I don't knock the people who had go into a situation and they have sex on the first day.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's and catalyst.
And it releases anxiety. Yep, sure do.
Okay, no.
A good one lets anxiety go.
Well, then you know what? I am not going to entertain your shit. Okay.
I'm just trying to I'm not. Trying to tell you. I don't have a problem with going on a date.
But she would be
because when he goes on the first date, that is what he's looking for.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm a gentleman.
You're telling everybody else to give it up on the first date. So when you go on the first date, what are you looking for?
Oh, when I go on the first date, no, that's not true. No, but if the opportunity happens to, happens
to present itself, you have to open the door.
Yeah, you do that, but you got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But
when he goes on a first date, his mind is set on. That's not true. That's not true.
Take her home and she go.
But if I feel you a tight ass, I'm gonna get an appetizer and take a phone call, and I gotta go anyway.
So what you saying is this is why this woman has anxiety. This is why she has anxiety.
Yeah. I'll be her worst nightmare because I can see she ain't giving it up, and I call the man on the couch. Yo, guy on the couch. This is a no. I gotta go.
I don't like what you're saying.
I'm just trying to tell you it's true.
I don't like what you're saying right now because
I'm looking for love too.
It doesn't apply to everyone. I'm sorry, ladies, you do not have to give it up on the first date.
And most men, I think men need to be more selective with their salami anyway. You don't just share with every daggone body.
I said if the flow is right, I've said if the flow is right, if you ain't just looking to hook up, but it can happen. Stop playing with it. Why she has anxieties is because of what's going to happen next. That's what her problem is. She's worrying about what's on somebody else's mind. Give it up.
Worried about rejection.
I don't think rejection. Ain't no rejection. You on a date.
A second date.
Oh shit! It ain't gonna be a second date with me. I could read the letter and say, nah, I don't want to meet her. I'm just trying to tell you.
So again, what you're saying is that if you go on the first date and they don't give it up, you're not gonna see him again.
No, that's not true.
Order dinner.
That's not have dinner.
That's not.
You see, this is what you said. Now you said this.
Nah, I did not. I said that's not true. But what I'm saying is that, you know, if the opportunity is there and you got to play games with it, then we ain't gonna go on.
What is the playing games part, though? I don't understand what that means.
Y'all don't know the playing games.
Bam Bam, that is finest. Bam Bam is back, y'all.
Y'all know what playing games with it is. We ain't gonna even go there.
Because everyone doesn't go into a date with the idea that this is someone I'm gonna have sex with.
No, this is the idea. This is the, wait a minute, hold up. That y'all full of shit. Because bottom line is that if you go on dates, you go on dates because you're attracted to somebody. You ain't just attracted to nobody's goddamn mind. Are you crazy? Y'all are bugging me out right now.
Have you lost your ever loving mind?
I didn't lose my ever loving mind. It's about attraction. So. It's about attraction.
Okay, but here's the problem. Here's the problem with what you're saying. There's a lot of attractive men. And just because they're attractive doesn't mean I'm attracted to you. I could meet you, and on that first date, you could say or do something that completely turns me off.
So let me ask you a question. What if he does all the right things on the first date? Then what?
Like what?
I'm not.
Wait, no.
What if he does all the right things on the first date?
What could you possibly do on the first date
that's gonna make me want to have sex with you?
I'm just saying. What if a man does all the right things on the first date? Then what?
Then we go.
You know, he opens the door for you when you go in a restaurant. He opens the car door. He pays the bill. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Then what happens then?
So opening up the door and paying the bill means you get some ass.
Oh man, here we go.
Let me read Cecil's comment that he said. If you have to have self-esteem. Don't fuck anybody you don't legitimately want to.
Exactly. Agree.
Never mind what the fuck he wants. Do it for you. If that's what you want to do.
Exactly.
I agree.
Shout out to Cecil. Agreed. So if that's something, so here go the question. If that's something you want to do, would you? Ladies, be honest.
If I wanted to,
I would.
Shout out to the ladies. Y'all tear it up. Let's go. That's what I want to hear. Shout out to the ladies.
If I wanted to, I would.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. This woman, but it's not the expectation, but things happen. But this woman here is worrying about what happens on the date, this, that, and the other. Be yourself. Calm down. You know what I'm saying? If you got them drawers and you want to take them drawers off, take it off. Take them drawers off. That's exactly right. If you want to do that, if you want to do that, I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying if you want to do it, do it.
Ms. Angela wants to speak.
Go ahead.
I would like to put a period on the end of this conversation. And I am just praying that the topic of our show this evening is not going to send this boy off the rails. Okay, I don't know. He need a hug. Okay.
This is when we need a 5-minute interlude of some music or something.
Catch our breath. Okay. So. One of the things that we were talking about, and this topic of conversation for the show stemmed from another long conversation, so I am kind of afraid of this man. But
don't be afraid. We know how to.
We were talking about marriage versus cohabitation. Now, the three of us have all different types of situations, right? Rashay is a divorcee. Michelle is still in the mix, but single, right?
Right.
And I have only ever cohabitated. So we all have had different points of view about the pros and cons of it. And my position is cohabitation is fine for a short period of time. To me, it means that you should probably be leaning towards getting married. If you're going to cohabitate, that's a step in the road. But if it doesn't happen, it depends on what your likes are, where you are in your life. Like, that's my opinion about it. But I'd love to hear. I know. Oh, go ahead. Don't go first, Michelle.
Okay. All right. So Marriage versus cohabitation. What I do know is that not everybody wants to be married. And for me, that is okay if that's what you want or what you don't want. I mean, there are pros and cons to both sides of it. It depends on your beliefs, like Tamara said. You know, some people get married for religious reasons because it goes against what God wants you to do if you're living together and you're not married. Some people get married financial reasons. There's so many different reasons why people get married. People get married, but then when people live together, people think that if you live together, I remember Rashe said something about if they're cohabitating and living together, they have an exit plan, which I don't necessarily agree with that, because two people can live together and just be together without getting married. My grandparents did it. You know, they was that way until my grandfather passed away. So it all depends on what it is that you want out of your relationship.
Well, I read a statistic that over 42% of marriages end in divorce, and that the couples that are cohabitating have in the last 5 years risen 31%. So people are starting to lean towards, you can raise your hand. Oh gosh. Yes.
Just one thing, those couples that they're talking about are cohabitating, are they couples of the same sex? That means in a lot of states they can't get married. So that will make them couples of the same sex. So would that be in the mix of your statistics that you're talking about?
These are opposite sex couples.
Oh, okay. All right. Just
I didn't look into the same sex couples, but I'm sure I would say that those, because they don't have the legal rights to do things, that they wouldn't be in that percentage, because it doesn't apply in the same way. But there are different pluses and minuses for as far as like financially, right? If you're going to cohabitate, how do you handle the finances that go on? Unfortunately, this is probably why it didn't work for me when I cohabitated, is that I felt like my money was my money because we weren't married, right? And so I didn't feel the need to share what I was doing financially. And I probably would have handled it a little bit different. I'm sure I would have handled it differently had we been married. I probably would have been like, this is what I got for the pot, but I didn't in that sense. So that was me.
Can I say something now? I want to make sure that we don't want to
Go ahead.
All right. I don't want to go. I'm gonna go back right quick. Shout out to Fox Cecil. She said, if I want to fuck, I want to fuck. I'm gonna fuck. It's my prerogative. That makes a lot of sense. That's what I was saying. Do what you want to do when you're on that date. Now, get into marriage. Yeah, I think it's better to get married than to cohabitate, because again, researchers show that marriages do build wealth. That's first of all. A lot of the the infrastructure in children, a lot of the children, they move on to probably more educational goals. They got a thing, the children end up kind of in a different situation, in a more successful situation. Not to say stay in the marriage for the children, but a lot of times in marriages, is like I said before, as cohabitating, I had a couple situations going on where, somebody don't want to go home at times. But, what I'm saying is that it's always it's an exit plan. So when you have that exit plan, it's like you don't want to really stay and kind of really, really, really work it out. And that's where a lot of the problems come in at, is when you're cohabitating, you're still boyfriend and girlfriend. You understand what I'm saying? And you do have an exit plan. When you're married, you're building something. It's not as easy to turn around and say, yo, I'm going to get out of this. Now, as we move older, because, we're older, and if you could look back at a lot of things that we do in life, a lot of the issues that we have in relationships seems to reappear with different people that we're with, a lot of the times. So sometimes it's just really, really who we are. And if you could work it out, then you should work it out. And just, marriage, it just builds more stability. That's the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? Because,
but
I love everybody.
Piece of shit in a cohabitating relationship, you're a piece of shit in a marriage as well. I don't think that necessarily
that changes.
is going to make people behave in a different way.
I didn't say behave. I mean,
you might sit in it longer, right? You might stay the course where you don't just walk out the door, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a good situation. You just sit in the muck and mire a little bit longer because you are married. That's all of these legal things that you have to do to get out of it. And so
no, not necessarily, because some people actually leave and still stay married and go get into other relationships. So that's not the thing. But the thing is like I said, with marriage, it just builds more for yourself and for your family, and for it's just planning. You're planning. You know, when you're single, when you're really single, your lifestyle is different. It's not the same as if you're married. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking about the other person's thinking about you. Y'all thinking of a plan. Y'all coming together. 4 hands is always going to be better than 2. When you cohabitate, it's just a little different. It's really not
but
the
different
same.
Doesn't necessarily mean worse.
No, you're right. So let me ask you a question.
I mean, I don't know if I agree that married, because what you're saying is that it is better to be married. But I think there's a lot of advantages with 2 people who come to the table and decide that their 4 hands are better than just 2, and they do all the things without the legal part of it. And they could still.
So what's the other part of legal? What would be the opposite definition of legal? Illegal. Something's wrong. So what I'm saying is that I'm telling you, it just makes, because she said, because the legal part of it. The thing is when you're married, you creating. No, I understand you clearly. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Is that marriage is just really, when you find that partner, we all might have found the partner that we may have cohabitated with, wanting to be in a relationship or whatever the case may have been. Timing could have been wrong, whatever the case may have been, and you grow and you get to see different things. Marriage creates like I said, more of a stable environment. Like, I don't know me, if I'm very unstable anyway, so I don't know if I ever get married, but I'm just saying. But it creates more stability for you. You understand what I'm saying? And moving on, and you're right. Then the thing is, like you said, you could cohabitate with a piece of shit, or you can marry a piece of shit. But the same thing is you got to be careful who you get into any relationship with. But when you get on that level of marriage or cohabitation, then you should feel like you going into it with somebody who is whole or somebody who is solid. You understand what I'm saying? So
I get that.
You understand? So yeah, I believe, honestly, like, I could look back on a lot of stuff and say, you know what, man, maybe that could have been my wife. Maybe I should have stayed, or maybe she should have stayed, or maybe we could have did this, because a lot of the times is you want to be at a certain place at a certain part in life. And with the legal stuff is that you got to really understand marriage trumps legally a lot of stuff in life, period, as you go through. The wife will come through and create havoc. The husband can as well. And that's where, you got to really understand.
Because I think I don't even know what I think about anything you
said. Let me make my point then before you say what you say. Because I also feel like you can create wealth even not being married.
You can,
but I also feel like there are a lot of people who are just against marriage because they've lost so much after a marriage was over.
Right.
So you did divorce, and now you done lost your house, all your shit, and now you paying alimony, and you doing all these different things because your marriage didn't work out. So you got to look at that side of it too. Although being married,
yeah, but see, you're going into it looking at an exit plan. Look at everything that you said going into it. I could pay alimony. Hold up, I could lose my house. I could do this, right? Exactly. But what I'm saying is,
I didn't say that you could go. I'm saying that it can work without being married. But I'm saying, because there are some people that after marriage they lost everything. I'm not saying you're going into it thinking that that's going to happen. Right. But if you're married, all I'm saying is that you can create the thing that you mentioned without being married.
Maurice. For me,
you can't.
Well,
you can't. Certain things you can't.
About one of the comments,
certain things you can't. You can't.
Why not?
You can't create.
Why?
I agree with Maurice in his comment below about
I see it.
my position in cohabitating is pre-marriage. It's time for you to get a chance to know your partner. So to me, cohabitating should have an expiration date, and it should be progressive into marriage.
Right. Even if you cohabitate, you should cohabitate on the goal is this is what we're gonna do by a certain time, or pack your shit. But we ain't gonna do this forever.
But I'm also,
you understand what I'm saying?
People who decide that they don't want to get married and they want to cohabitate, because I think that there's a lot of
because
things, you can have a loving, healthy relationship financially, etc., provided that you go to the table and you have the open conversation about how you're going to do it. I think marriage is fit.
I agree. We're going to take some calls if anybody wants to call in and weigh in on this conversation. So guys, call us. The number is 201-431-6198 if you have a comment or question or anything you want to add to this conversation. Call in now. But yeah, so I don't disagree with anything that you said, but I just don't feel like if you don't marry, it's the worst thing you could possibly do.
Right. Because if you, let's say with children, right? If you are married and you separate, then you go through partner, having to have the courts decide sometimes where the child is going to go. And when you're cohabitating, really for a father, they're the ones that don't automatically get the kids. The court system will automatically sometimes leave the kids to the mother.
Definitely.
And so they have things called cohabitating agreements, right? Where you live together and you come up with a legal agreement about little things like that doesn't require you to get married. So if you split, some of these things are already taken care of. Right. One of the things that is a little bit of a worry is like when your partner dies or gets sick, right? This is where you also have to make sure you have these things covered, and that again, have the conversation. What if something happens to you? I have a very good friend that lost her best friend who he died 2 days before his wedding, and they had his memorial service on the day that he was going to have his wedding. Now his mate, who he was marrying, has no legal any kind of way, but because of a couple of days of not being able to take care of those things fell to the family, even though they had been living together for like 2 years. And had they had some kind of agreements in place, then when that happened, then his partner would have been able to take care of those things. So you have to think about those things when you're cohabitating, and people don't want to think about the what if something goes wrong. So that has to.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because a lot of people think they could fill out certain paperwork and do out certain things, but next of kin is something very powerful. You understand what I'm saying? It can override a lot of decisions. If you get a rider, if you do this, if you do that. Like I'm going through a lot of this stuff now, and you learn as you go along, but usually a wife or a husband trumps a lot of things. Even if you feel like you got something in place and your kids want a certain part of a home or an apartment, or it's something for just for the security. It's like, I know a guy right now, he had a bad heart. He worked for transit. He married his ex-wife again to make sure that, that she was secured in everything that he had before he died. Because again, marriage trumps everything. He hasn't been sexual, intimate with this woman. He hasn't dealt with this woman. He hasn't done anything. You understand? But
he should talk to a lawyer, because he could have got some papers together that wouldn't have required him to get married.
To her.
Yeah, but
because if God forbid something happens to her before something happens to him, he still has to figure all that stuff out to make sure that his kids are okay.
Right. But the answer to him was, at the end of the day, is that again, he passed within a couple weeks, and the marriage trumped everything. You understand what I'm saying? Marriages are really powerful.
That marriage is going to trump a will. A marriage is going
yes, because you can contest all of that. Yes, you can contest all of that. It don't matter. And even if you might get part of it or you get some of it. But it trumps your children, it trumps everything. Your next of kin could come in and just sweep everything. If you're not married. If you're married,
you don't have a will.
No. A will can be contested. This is
but
what
they would have to. But then there's going to be a fight on their hands. It's not
right. It will be a fight. Right. Exactly. It's never going to be a walk in the park. And if you have to go through all of that trouble to get up all this paperwork and do all this shit you're doing, why don't you just get married anyway?
Because you don't know if that person is going to fulfill your wishes the way that you asked. Right. Because
what? Huh?
You don't.
No.
What?
I probably got a best friend that'll probably fulfill my wishes if I die and I say, look, this is what I want, faster than a man. That doesn't mean just because I get married and my husband is going to necessarily go down the list of what I want.
Right.
What happened?
And Jerome said a trust
doesn't trump marriage either. You can contest that. I'm getting contested with a trust now. A lot of that stuff.
If I have a life insurance policy on my partner,
that's life insurance. We're not talking about that.
But still, if you have property together, if you have property with somebody,
it's called spousal rights. It's called spousal rights.
We're not going to get into the logistics of what you can and cannot do. But my thing is, if you're going to choose to not marry, you need to make sure that you're going to cover yourself.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And my thing in conclusion with everything, if you got to go through all of that, then it would be easier to get married than to go through all that stuff.
Provided that you have someone that you are marrying that you believe is going to fulfill your wishes. But you don't know that 100% and certain. So, everybody doesn't have that.
You can marry somebody that ain't gonna do that either.
And let's say you got kids from a separate situation. You're not 100% certain that when you go that they're gonna take care of everything unless you have certain legal papers in place. They can contest it, but that doesn't mean they're gonna win in the end. It just means it'll take a little bit longer. But you don't just decide, okay, I'm just gonna let Jane take care of it. Or what do you want to call your woman?
Yeah, and when you contest something,
what day of the week is it?
You have to have a valid reason why you're contesting something.
You can't can't. Listen, you can contest a lot of stuff, but bottom line is
what?
Right. Bottom line, but the thing is, what you have your spouse and your children are all, regardless if it's a will, if it's no will, no matter what, that's going to be a 50-50 split with whatever happens. But I'm just saying that if people have to take the time, is if you feel like you're cohabitating with somebody that don't want to really deal with your kids or do your kids in the right way, then what would be the reason for you to even cohabitate with somebody? That to me, that just doesn't make sense.
Or cohabitate.
But that's what Shay just had brought up. So that's what I'm saying. So some of the stuff is like, we talking about marriage and cohabitation. That person should be solid.
Well, you don't know.
Don't you feel that person is solid? Well, but then that's doubt. That's what I'm saying.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of situations where someone has died and the person, husband or wife, who is left, didn't take care of things the way that the person expected them to when they were alive? It happens.
Yes.
You can have, certainly you can believe that this person that you're with is going to do the right thing. But even with that, you still need a will, because at some point that person could say, well, my husband left me $1 million and the kids is grown and I don't think I should have to give them anything. Right. Because they're not the ones who took care of him while I was sick and et cetera, right? I'm keeping it.
Yeah, but again, a will can be contested. So
you can contest it, but all it's gonna do is hold it up.
Sometimes they win.
Kids can come in and contest anything related to a spouse as well.
Definitely. No, it's 50-50. Doesn't matter. Spouse is 50-50 split.
No, you can come in a situation and say that, okay, this spouse mistreated, like say it was my father or somebody. They mistreated this person, and they was forced to sign something under duress. I mean, I'm just throwing it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you have to prove that, but that is like right.
But what I'm saying is that it can be contested if in
No, it can something like
yeah.
that, but contesting right. But the thing is that bottom line is my overall thing is if I have to live with somebody and call somebody my life partner, my soulmate, etc., I feel like it should be a husband or a wife or something like that to me, because I shouldn't have to go through the etc. of let me sign this for my kids, let me sign that. That should be all worked out in the family matter. So if I'm cohabitating, like he said, cohabitation is marriage without the wedding, right? So if it's marriage without the wedding, then we should all be able to sit down as a family and discuss
Agreed.
certain things and figure things out. So to me, it seems like it's still kind of an exit plan. Well, if he don't do this, I'm gonna just do that. And for me, moving forward, then if I have to feel that way about the woman that I'm with, then maybe you need to stay in apartment 9C and I need to be in 3B, and I might see we get together.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I'm saying.
Right decision for whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's marriage or whether it's cohabitation. You just have to make sure that it's going to be beneficial for you and your family. That's really where the line draws, because there's so many loopholes and so many things that could go wrong, but there are so many things that could go right, and you don't have no issues at all. Everybody just rocks out. You know what I mean?
It can, but see, on another thing is like I said before, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like I thought, every woman would like to get married. Every woman would like to be somebody's wife. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't want to be introduced to somebody as, oh, this is my lady. Sometimes it's a great thing to say, yo, this is my wife or this is my husband.
Yeah, that's
great. This, that, and
the
other. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sitting there.
Get married.
No, but I'm not saying that, but that I'm right, but I'm not talking about people that's just doing things to do things. I'm just saying in general is that, moving forward is like I said, at some point I would probably want to say, you know what, this might be my wife. Just me personally. If I have to live with somebody every day and do something like this at this point in my life, yeah, I would like to say this is my wife, not my lady or my girlfriend.
So if you move someone in your house, then
I won't do it again.
Okay, sorry. Right. Let me finish what I was going to say. Sound like you had some situations. But if you decide that you're going to live with someone, then ultimately you want it to be someone that you could see yourself marrying in order for them to have a space in your home.
You know what? I think right now, I think that we probably won't even do that. You move in when we get married. I ain't with sharing my space like that with nobody but my wife at this point in my life.
Okay.
You can spend a couple nights. We can have a little bit of fun, but you got to have a place of residence or something. It ain't here.
And then when she does, that has to be your wife in order for you to
at this point in my life. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think on the thing with marriage versus cohabitation, I think that either one of them or both of them, you really need to be able to sit down, because what happens, let me say this first. Oftentimes people are in relationships and they're in love, and it's easier for y'all to just pay rent on one house or one apartment or wherever y'all at. So somebody moves in with somebody and y'all just there rocking out.
Right.
The problem with that is that you still need to cover yourself in a lot of ways. And if that is what you choose to do, then you need to be able to sit down and iron out some of these things. What happens if I die? What happens if we break up? Who's going to keep the apartment? What happens with my pension if we are together for 20 years cohabitating? What happens with the kids? All of those things have to be talked about first. Maurice thinks we're gonna put that on the screen.
I know Maurice just wrote a book. I said, God damn,
Maurice. That was one of those opportunities.
You should have called in and said that. You should have called.
He broke.
Just said I was confused. Just said I was confusing him.
Yeah.
Well, because you were off topic, because it wasn't really about marriage versus cohabitation. Because even in a situation when you're married and you think about Tennessee, right? If you are living in the same place and if you're married and the spouse who was not named on a lease.
lease.
Let's say I just sign it, my husband doesn't sign it. He's still automatically, because we're married, has a right to remain on the property. And that isn't necessarily the case with cohabitating, right? Because if it's just mine and we're just rocking out and I say, you got to go, yeah, he might have squatters' rights, but he doesn't have any legal rights to what I have. So, you know, things like that, when you think about moving in with somebody, are things that you really have to start to think about.
Yeah, no, it is. It's deep. And see, another thing is what me is what I see personally, especially with men that get older up in age, they don't have a lot because they cohabitate with women and then they move in and they do their manly duties. You know, they start paying bills, they start doing this, they start doing that, and then guess what? That relationship don't work. They move on. The woman usually keeps the apartment, this, that, and other. He has to go back, regroup, get his senses back together, get into another relationship, and he does the same thing. So he never really builds for himself. You understand what I'm saying? Because he's always in the position. And I know a lot of men at that time, like with me, I vowed that I would never move in with a woman. You understand what I'm saying? Because if we're going to do something, we're going to do something together.
So do you think in those situations that had the man proposed and gotten married, that he would have been in a better situation?
Yes, of course. Because now you're building together because you're legally binded. And that's what I'm sitting here. Hold on.
What would be the difference though?
Hold on, we got a call. Hold on, we got a call.
It's probably Maurice. He want to read that whole thing.
Hello?
Look, I ain't gonna read that whole thing that I just posted on there. I ain't gonna read that. That hurt my finger. Okay, my finger I had to give my finger a break on that one. That was a long one. Look,
Maurice.
Cohabitated. That how y'all doing? How y'all doing today?
What's up?
Look, that cohabitating and that marriage, I did them both. I did the cohabitating and I did the marriage, and really there ain't no real difference between either one of them. It's the only thing is that with cohabitating, you have no legal ground to stand on. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, if something happens, you know what I'm saying, that person that you live with has no legal ground to do anything. They can't plan your funeral. They can't keep anything that y'all have together. They can't, do anything because everything falls back on the family, you know what I'm saying, next to kin. Now, unless you and that person get married, that marriage certificate trumps everything because you're married to that person. So everything falls on that person that you were married to. Now, if you live in a state where same-sex marriage is not legal, you know what I'm saying, even then, you still don't have any legal right to stand on whether you're cohabitating or not. So my thing is, there is no big difference between cohabitating or marriage because nowadays you live with a person and you're not married to them, but you're living with a person. You're getting to know that person. You're getting to know whether or not you can build with that person, whether you can build a future with that person. But that also is like marriage because mentally you're married to that person mentally. You know, so you're doing the same thing as a married couple. You're coming home to that person. You're living with that person. You're doing things as if you're a married couple. But the only thing is, you didn't have the wedding ring. You didn't have the ceremony and all that stuff. So you're not really married. But mentally, you're married to that person, whether you're cohabitating with them or not. So actually, the question should be is, what is the real difference between cohabitating and marriage? And if you sit down and think about it, there is no real difference between it. It's basically
outside of the legal.
So,
thank you.
Right, it's a legal thing.
So basically, there is no difference between either one of them. So honestly, you know what I'm saying? It's men really don't sit there and say, "Oh, I can't wait to get married. I can't wait to settle down." Men really don't say that. You know what I'm saying? But women are geared more towards waiting for that marriage, waiting for that day to get married, waiting for that day to marry the person that they love. So the actual question is, what is the difference between cohabitating and marriage? If you're already living with somebody that you've been with for over a year or 2 years, you're mentally, you're married to that person already. So basically, there is no difference.
Right. So Maurice, listen, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
What's your current status now?
Right now, I'm single. I just came out. I was doing truck driving. over the road truck driving.
So you're not cohabitating,
No.
nor you're married.
No, I'm not cohabitating with nobody. I'm not married to nobody.
See, you straight pimping, right, baby? That's what we doing. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Maurice.
Thank you, Maurice.
Thank you, Maurice. Shout out to them pimping. Keep it pimping, baby.
But look. I'd rather sit here and be single and do what I want to do than
exactly
sit down and build with somebody that I know that it's not like you can tell whether or not you can build with that person and you can live with that person. You can tell that within the first conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like DJ was saying earlier.
Give it up.
You on that first date. Give it up on that first date. If you don't want to give it up on that first date, no one's forcing you to.
There you go.
No one's forcing you to give it up. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. You don't have to give it up. But it's like if I go on a date with a girl or a young lady and we're sitting there and the conversation's going good, the evening's going good and stuff like that. If she give it to me, she give it to me. If she don't, she don't.
That's
you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that she has to.
Exactly.
I'm saying if you do it, then you do. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we go on a second date or a third date after that, then that's fine. If we don't date again after that,
yo, Maurice, we got to take another caller. We got to take another caller.
Thanks, Mo.
All right, thanks, Maurice.
All right, later, y'all. Later.
All right.
Hello. Turn your TV. Turn your TV down. Turn your computer down.
Okay.
What's up, Keisha? How are you?
Hey guys, how you doing? So I'm calling to comment off of what was his name that just spoke?
Maurice.
Maurice, yeah. He's saying that if you're not married, the person doesn't have any legal rights, and that's not true. And it's not true because my aunt was not married to her man, and they made sure that they had things put in place. They had things in writing that when he died, what she can do and what she is entitled to. And he had children and everything like that, and things was in writing. No one had to fight anything or anything like that. So that's not necessarily true. If you take care of your business, you handle your affairs when you're with your man, whether you're married to him or not, or your girl, if you handle your affairs the correct way and get things in writing, things can be legally done the right way. It's not necessarily that you have to be married in order for you to say, okay, if I leave and if I die, you know, you can't have this apartment. If you have something in place to say that you can, you absolutely can.
Exactly.
So that's not necessarily true.
And where things go left is when people don't do that. And that's what things go
and that was my point, is that you have to cover yourself even in a cohabitating situation. Having those legal papers, set up things together.
Right, but the thing is, if you thank you, Keisha.
Thanks.
If the thing is, if you're cohabitating, then why are you looking to cover yourself? The person is there to cover you automatically. That's why I was feeling, you know, what I'm feeling about marriage. But it's all right. I'm pimping anyway. Shout out to the pimps.
You're right.
Yo, hold up. Shout out to Maurice for giving it up. I keep telling y'all.
In the show, great show, guys. And as you guys know, make sure you go follow us on our social media platforms.
Absolutely.
We are on IG and everything else. It's scrolling across the bottom. Go follow us. And again, shout out to our radio listeners. And guys, make sure you come to Cabo with us next year, 2022, September.
Yeah, baby.
Cabo.
We're gonna have a big announcement in the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be really big announcement.
Big thing. Big things are gone. Big things are gone.
Can I just say a little something before we hang up about Sunday's show? We're gonna be discussing polygamy. And we are gonna have some guests on the show that have their story to tell. So tune in for next Sunday.
That's going to be a fun.
No, listen, I need everybody to tune into this one. This is going to be really be a good one. This is going to be a great one. I'm going to tell you.
If you ever wanted to know about the lifestyle, tune in. You're going to hear all about it.
Yes, you're going to really need.
Not what you think it is.
Yeah, you ain't going to believe this.
It's not what you think it is.
I'm still shocked.
And as you guys know, we end every show with a quote. We end every show with the quote. So my thing is this: whether you decide to get married or cohabitate, life is about finding the ones that make you happy and freeing yourself of the ones who don't.
That's it.
Just be happy, y'all.
Stay pimping, baby.
See y'all next week.
All right, next Sunday, guys. at 8.